Hey, everybody. So I posted this meme on my community tab this morning. This is a meme that Snoop Dogg posted on his Instagram page yesterday. If you don't know who these two are, this is Gucci Mane and Keisha Kaur. They've been together for years. They've been married for maybe the last couple of years or so. But their so-called fairy tale relationship wasn't all peaches and cream from the beginning. And so Snoop Dogg called himself posting this on his page. And let me read it to you. This foolishness, this foolery. Everyone wants this. But what y'all forget was she was with wild Gucci, on drugs Gucci, cheating Gucci, in jail Gucci, publicity with other women Gucci. This is Gucci after therapy, rehabilitation. This is a street man groomed in his 30s after he's been at his lowest. Point is, this is a writer who knew what she signed up for. You bees is with the next N after couple fights. And so he did not write this. Okay, let me just be clear. He did not write this, but he promoted this meme. And I'm not exactly surprised that he promoted this because Snoop, like a lot of men that I saw under his comments, thinking that this was like the best thing ever, think this way. And it truly is unfortunate. But what makes me upset about this whole thing is that this is the kind of behavior that continues to cycle in our communities. It continues to be promoted in our communities, and our Black women are expected to be dragged through broken glass, dragged through the pits of hell, dragged through mud to prove her worth to a man. She has to be a ride or die. Now I look at all these things here to myself, and it's pretty much like a checklist. Drugs, check. Cheating, check. In jail, check. They forgot the having a baby on you, check. I'm not surprised at all that Snoop Dogg would promote this kind of, toxic relationship because he himself is in one. I hate to drag his wife into this, but I can't help it. Snoop Dogg is known and has been known to step out on his wife for years. But people sit there and they just smile and nod because he's still married to her. Snoop has a son, a grown son that he doesn't claim, that's all over Instagram as we speak, trying to get his father's attention. Looks just like him. All right, I follow him on Instagram. His name is Contract Max on Instagram. Go check him out. He looks just like him. He has stepped out on his wife time and time again. You know he was caught with that Selena Powell chick, the big lip white girl that's been with all the different rappers and all this other stuff. So it is not shocking to me that he would, of course, promote this kind of stuff. But I wonder, Snoop, would you encourage your own daughter to engage in a relationship where a man beat her, cheated on her constantly, gave her STDs, gambled, never brought home no money to pay bills, sat on his butt all day, had babies outside? Would you encourage your daughter to be in a relationship like that? I would think not. But then again, I don't know. He probably would. If this is his way of thinking, he probably would. And the sad part is she's probably going to think like that anyway. And not because he needs to tell her that you need to be that kind of woman, but because of what she's seen in her own house. She's seen her mother stay with a man who disrespects her, who dishonors her. That's exactly what she's seen, masked as some kind of love. Y'all called it on the community page. Y'all called it struggle love. Perfect word for what this is right here. Struggle love, toxic love. That's exactly what this is. No woman should have to be hazed. That's the best way I could say it. Pledged, hazed to show that she is worthy of a man's love. She should not have to go through the ringer. And Black women are constantly told that they need to be ride or die. Seriously, this is ridiculous. And the sad part is, in many cases, it's actually ended in death. Literally. You so down with this man and put up with everything that he does that he puts you in the ground. There have been women out here that's contracted diseases that they can't get rid of because they've been willing to stay after time and time and time again of this man stepping out and cheating. That's not love. And I've looked at a lot of the comments and I saw women that agreed with the meme. And before I had to stop myself and say, you know what? Don't call them dumb, because we've all been stupid for somebody before. But don't necessarily condemn a person for thinking this way, but think about where that may have come from, the pathology of it in our communities. That came from somewhere. If a woman thinks that this is what you have to put up with and go through to prove your love to a man, it's because she's seen it in her own house. She has witnessed it in her own house, of her mother dealing time and time and time again with a man that disrespected and dishonored her. And so she grew up following the same path. You have to understand that kind of stuff, that cycles, that generational stuff, that is real. And a lot of us fall victim to it, and we don't even realize we're doing it until we're in it. And then we realize, man, my mom was like that. And then the boys that follow this kind of behavior and do these kind of things, they probably do it because they, again, have seen it. They've seen this kind of toxic behavior in their households. They've seen it. And now we have rappers promoting it. First things first. If I don't give you any other advice, do not take love advice from celebrities. I just wouldn't do it, okay? I would not get my love advice from Snoop Dogg or T.I., or I just wouldn't get my love advice from any of these folks, because everything that glitters is in gold. Keisha Kaur and Gucci Mane, for instance, everything looks all glittery on the outside. They got the little Gucci, they got the little Louis Vuitton, but you don't know. We already know what she put up with. And for them to sit there and say, well, she stayed. She knew what she was signing up for. Do you know how disrespectful it is to say, well, you knew what you were signing up for. You knew what kind of man he was, if she stayed anyway. So she might look glamorous. It may look all fun and glitzy and glamorous, but was it really worth it? Now, some people think, well, she stayed because he had money. I don't know. But let's be clear. Folks be in the hood all the time in the same kind of relationship. So I don't want to put that on Keisha that she stayed because of the money. I know people to this day right now in my home, in my family, that stay in these kind of relationships, and her dude ain't got a dime. Okay. So we've got to stop promoting these kind of behaviors and these kind of toxic relationships in our households and in our families and our communities. Let's stop the cycle. And let's also figure out where it comes from. So that will help us stop it. But don't promote this kind of mess. And I wish that Snoop wouldn't promote these kind of foolish memes and things like that. Say no to struggle love, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. All right. You two men, okay? But I'm really, really kind of talking to the women. But I just want to know what you guys think of this meme. What do you think about the so-called ride or die chick? Have you ever been one? And what do you think of it? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.